Hey guys, it's Mark. So today is April the 2nd, 2020, World Autism Awareness Day. Now this video is a bit of a serious one because I'm going to talk about the crisis we're in. Well, personally I didn't want to because, to quote Rowan Atkinson, this is developing into a distinctly boring situation. But I've got an aunt who always supports me on YouTube, and I anticipated she'll probably suggest, go ahead and make a video, share your autistic views on the situation. You maybe upload it for World Autism Awareness Day. So I thought, yeah, okay, might as well do it, let's get this over with. The whole world has been shagged up. It's been infected by an epidemic known as the coronavirus. It's a bit like flu, but it can be more fatal, particularly towards people who are over 65. To try and stop the virus from spreading, nearly every country has been put into lockdown. It's a kind of martial law quarantine. No one is allowed to leave or enter the country. It also means that every citizen has to stay in their homes. They're only allowed out for shopping for food and medical supplies, for exercises, and to walk any pets they have. They've also introduced a system called social distancing. All physical contact with other people is not allowed. So no meetups, no handshakes, no high fives, no hugs, and no rumpy-pumpy. Well, personally, because I'm autistic, I kind of like being isolated, because it's a well-known fact that autistic people don't like social situations and they prefer to be left alone. When I was at school, I sometimes got to go into isolation, not because I was naughty, it was because I wanted some peace and quiet, just to get on with some work. I mean, I just hated noisy classes. I always worked hard, but I always ended up in the classes with all the immature and noisy students, you know, the ones who have no ambitions but want to mess about. The reason I'm finding this whole situation boring is because it's becoming too repetitive. It kind of reminds me of the Iraq War in the early 21st century. We've seen so many news about it, it's starting to get too repetitive. Constant negative news is very bad for morale. It just makes people more scared, and it builds up anxiety, and it's very bad for people, especially if they suffer from depression. And because of this, it's created the panic shoppers, or as I like to call them, the GSBs. Greedy, selfish bastards. Because they're buying so much stuff like toilet roll and food supplies, they're not thinking about other people who may need it more than we do. It's almost as if people are becoming preppers. It's when they think that the end of the world is coming, and so they're buying lots of stuff so they can last for several years. I must admit, I'm expecting to see a vehicle from that movie Mad Max drive by. Oh, no, that's a van. Luckily that hasn't happened yet, so let's keep it like this. It's not the end of the world. I'm also getting sick and tired of hearing the same messages over and over again. Stay safe, stay at home, wash your hands, we're all in this together, everything is cancelled, keep your distance. I mean, I am aware that people are trying to make sure that we're safe, and I do appreciate that, honestly I do. But I think by now we've got the message. You don't have to keep repeating yourself like a parrot. I mean, it's like Valentine's Day. It always reminds me, you're gonna be single for the rest of your life. Yes, I know, I get the bloody message. Shut the smeg up! I know it's a scary situation and people don't like to talk about it. It's normal to be scared. I mean, that's what makes you human. I admit I'm a little scared too. Not completely scared. I mean, there are one or two things that I am concerned and worried about, but I'm just trying to stay calm and relax. That's what you gotta do in situations like this. I'm sure this won't last forever. I mean, we'll get through it. It'll be just like the foot and mouth disease. The things that worry me though, well, in theory, this should be all over by the time we reach summer. The lockdown that this country is currently in, it's supposed to be for 3 weeks, but they have been thinking of extending it to June, beginning or end, I don't know. As for social distancing, I have heard rumours that they may extend that to October, or in fact for the whole year. Now, if they do, then this could have a serious effect on the conventions and events that I like to go to, and also my friends like to go to. Some of them have been cancelled, and some have been postponed for another date. But if the crisis doesn't end sooner than we anticipated, then it looks like every convention event could be cancelled for the whole year. Before all this started, I wasn't going to go to many conventions this year anyway, because I do need to save up some money. But if this did happen, then I do feel sorry for my friends who like to go to these conventions. It would be a shame if the conventions I was going to go to this year are cancelled, because when I go to them, I feel more appreciated, to be honest, by my friends rather than family. Please don't get me wrong, I love my family, I really do, but sometimes I get the feeling that what I do is not good enough to impress them. To take a hypothetical example, one member of my family says, "I've got a new job." That's brilliant news. Another member says, "I'm getting married." Fantastic. I say, "I got 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel." Oh, that's good. Well done, Mark. I could be wrong, but it's just the way I've seen it, really. And like I say, I do love my family, and I know they love me. Another thing that upsets me is I keep seeing the message that by staying at home, you're saving lives, because the few people there are out and about, it makes it difficult for the virus to spread. But to be honest, it's the doctors, the nurses, and the NHS, they're the ones saving lives. They deserve the round of applause. And in fact, when this is over, I think they deserve a medal. What we're doing now, being isolated, staying at home, I've been doing that for the last 9 years. I hardly ever go out. I only go out to buy certain things like food, medicine, or products, to meet family and friends, and to go to conventions, but that's about it. I don't feel like I'm saving lives, because when I was a kid I used to write little short stories about me being a superhero. I called myself Mighty Mark, so I would beat bad guys, save people, be a real hero, but in these situations it's the doctors, nurses, NHS, they're the real heroes, not me. I'm not a hero. I don't feel like I'm saving lives. For once in my life, I'd like to be a hero. Just once. Maybe fight one of the hacker organisations, or rescue a beautiful damsel in distress. Another thing that upsets me is that I think people have forgotten the old saying, keep calm and carry on. Bit of a story time here, a personal one. My granddad was in the Navy during World War II. Now, he never liked fighting, but he was a big believer in the keep calm, carry on saying. He always tried to be cheerful, no matter what the world was going through. He was always putting a smile on his face. Which is why he always said that when he dies, instead of having the family mourning over him, he wanted us to have a big party in his honour. I'm not making this up, but that's exactly what we did. So we sent him off with a celebration. He passed away in 2018. I miss him, but like him, I try and remain positive about the situation, because the UK, we've been through many tragic events. We've been through plagues like this before. We've been through really bad weather. We've been through terrorist attacks. But that's why we have that saying, keep calm and carry on. Without that saying, we'd be living in a world of fear and misery. Something that I really don't want to do. I'd rather live in a world of hope and joy. Now, I'm no doctor, but here's some quick do's and don'ts for you guys. So don'ts, don't break the quarantine rules, do stay indoors. But if you have a garden or a balcony, then I think it should be okay to go out in them, because you do need some fresh air, and you'll need the sunlight to give you vitamin D. Don't make any big plans. Wait until the crisis is over. If you're going shopping, don't be a greedy, selfish bastard. Learn to share. Don't try and kill any bats, because even though they're responsible for spreading the virus, they are endangered species and you will go to prison. The do's. If you're finding this situation very stressful and annoying, then do try and block it out. So, for example, if you go onto Twitter, you can actually mute specific words. If it gets too much, then you might have to burn out for a while, which is a technical term for taking a rest. Do find some things to keep you entertained while you're inside. I mean, Disney Plus just came out, so you can use that to do some binge watching. Other things you can do, you can read, cook, play video games, decorate your house. Yes, that's another good one. Another thing you can do is do my Autistic viral challenge, the Poster of Me challenge. That's an ideal thing to do when you're inside. Do keep in touch with your family. I mean, you don't have to have long conversations. Just, send them a quick email or a text. Just let them know that you're alive. Earlier I said this isn't the end of the world. So do share this hashtag, not the end of the world, because, well, it's not. Yes, we are all in this together, but we are going to get through this. And if you've been paying attention to science documentaries, you know that the world ends in the year 5 billion. We've got plenty of time. As for myself, I've been doing a bit of thinking. If this crisis isn't over by the time we get to summer, then I'll probably stay in isolation for the rest of the year, even if the crisis ends. This means that there might not be many videos from my channel this year. Any places or conventions I wanted to go to this year, I won't go, and I might not be able to see my family and friends for a while. A pity, because my birthday is next month. I'm going to be 30, and me and my friends, we were going to go out and celebrate, but under the circumstances, that's not going to be possible. To be honest, it's for their own safety, because for those of you who haven't seen my top 5 moments of 2019 video, I did mention that I had flu just after Christmas. And as I mentioned, the virus is similar to flu, so it could have been the virus. I'm not sure. The thing you have to remember is, even if you feel well, that doesn't necessarily mean that you don't have the virus. You could have it. I mean, you have to remember that viruses are sneaky little buggers. Sometimes they mutate in order to survive. Now, some of you are probably thinking, well, that's a silly idea, isolating yourself for the rest of the year. The crisis will be over by then. Well, that's your opinion. I'm not taking any chances. I might have had the virus. I don't want to spread it. Through my life, I've never taken risks. I don't like to, even as a last resort. I prefer to play it safe. So, after doing this video, I do feel a little better. I feel like I've taken a real weight off my shoulders. So, thanks for watching, guys. I'm only going to say this once. Stay safe, stay home, wash your hands, don't panic, and keep calm and carry on. Good luck, everyone. Over and out.